And we are live on this beautiful Wednesday afternoon. Hello and greetings, everyone. Welcome to this live class where we're going to be exploring the forms of spiritual healing and also just conception medicine and fertility medicine for the woman who might be struggling to conceive. Welcome, 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 everyone. Such a joy to have you all joining me on this afternoon on, the Southern Hemisphere. Yes, I'm doing this live stream from my home in Molopololo, Botswana. Such a joy to have everybody joining. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. Great. Beautiful. And when you do join in, please just let me know from where in the world you're joining in. Just drop in the comment section so that, I may be aware of who's joining us here today. Yes, so today's live class is the second one in a mini series of 4 live classes that I'm going to be hosting and offering during this month of August. So in last week's session, we're exploring spiritual healing after a miscarriage or an abortion. There we're just really exploring the forms of healing that are necessary for you as either a woman or a man after a miscarriage or an abortion. And we explored like just four layers or 4 elements of healing that you could immerse yourself in just to ensure like a resolution and a closure of that experience in your life. So do check it out. It's here on my IGTV. Also, I posted it on my YouTube channel as well. But it's here on Instagram. Do check it out. For those who are, listening to this as a replay or listening on the podcast on the YouTube channel, yes, do come join us on Instagram. My handle is @Dimelo right? Great. So for those who are joining us for the first time, my name is Dimelo Mareri, and I am a spiritual healer and a womb healer based in Botswana. We have somebody here from South Africa joining us. We also have beautiful humans in Botswana. Such a joy to have you all joining us. So in today's session, we're going to be exploring fertility medicine or conception medicine for you who might be struggling to conceive, right? So this today's session, it's part of, as mentioned, the series I'm hosting this month of August, where we're just exploring various themes of psycho-spiritual healing, right? And so for those who might have been following me for some time, you might actually be aware that I have been away from social media for about 3 or 4 months, right? So I needed to take some time off to go immerse myself in, more of my own inner and spiritual healing, and also to move through another layer of my initiation process as a spiritual healer. So it's been during that initiation process that I have also been consulting clients in person, right? And have also started offering in-person sessions and also cleansings, physical cleansings for you who want to incorporate that in your healing journey, right? So that initiation process has seen the expansion and the growth of my work as a spiritual healer and also as a womb healer. It's allowed me the opportunity to add more healing modalities, essentially just learning more tools to help you in your spiritual healing journey, right? So previously I've mostly just been offering like online sessions where you can either book a once-off session with me, or where you can also work with me over a period of 6 months, right? Those opportunities are still welcome, but they're now also available to you in the form of in-person or physical sessions, where we can also do like physical cleansings for your body, for your energetic body, right? To bring about that very holistic and more complete healing, right? Awesome. Yeah, we have more people joining. Welcome, everyone. So yes, today we're talking conception medicine, fertility medicine, and yes, today's topic falls under various themes, right? Of womb medicine, of womb healing, of spiritual healing, psycho-spiritual healing, fertility medicine, conception medicine, right? And, just as a point of departure, right? We want to appreciate that your womb in her organic state is life-giving and life and growth supporting, right? So your womb, here we're talking about your womb as a creation portal and a space of creation in your life, right? Either as a portal of creating babies, of giving birth to babies, or of giving birth to ideas, of giving birth to your life, right? Your very the very life that you live, right? So in her organic state, right? Your womb is life-giving. In her organic state, I mean in her healthy state, she is life-giving and she is growth-giving, right? Such that should you find yourself having difficulties to conceive, right? We might want to investigate what it is that might have resulted in your womb closing up or withholding from the process of giving life or of supporting the life that is trying to find life through your body, right? So for this session, we're specifically talking about physical babies, okay? The conception here is of physical babies, right? Yes, so one, we would want to just deeply interrogate what it is that has led to your womb possibly not feeling safe enough to allow for the conception of life inside of her, inside of your body, and for the growth of that life inside of your womb, inside of your body, right? And yeah, that has really led to her closing up and not wanting to give that life, or not having the capacity to sustain that life, right? And so we would want to see whether there might have been any trauma that's been sustained by your body or by your womb, right? That has led to your womb just closing up and not being in a space to conceive children, right? So this trauma could, for example, be like either a miscarriage or an abortion, as we explored last week. And as just how you might remember that we explored a miscarriage or an abortion as a traumatic event in the life of your womb and in your life as a woman, right? So when these events take place, they can be deeply wounding and they can be traumatic for your womb. And here really we're talking about your womb as a living being, right? So that's part of what I'd love to invite you into, to begin to consider that your womb is a living being who has a life of her own and who has a consciousness, right? Who can be wounded, who can sustain pain, who can sustain trauma, right? And so sometimes we find that when there are difficulties to conceive, right? One of the reasons or one of the roots of that is, that there might, either your body or your womb might have sustained some trauma or some pain or some wounding that just leads to her closing up, right? Not feeling safe to hold that life and to sustain that life inside of her, right? So these traumas, yeah, they could be the miscarriage, the abortion. They could also be sexual trauma, right? That we might want to look into and begin to integrate. And there might also be just other forms of trauma that you as an individual might have moved through and experienced, right? So when we are doing the spiritual healing work, because each individual is unique, and your journey will be unique to you, right? We would want to, essentially, when we sit in a healing session, we're going to do a deep dive into like into your own unique life journey, and the experiences that you have had, with your womb, right? To look at what it is that might have possibly happened in the journey of your life, to look at what traumas you might have experienced, what traumas might have been wounding for your womb, and that might specifically speak to this, right? Yeah, so usually when we get into a session, these things come up, and we're able to zoom into them and to look at which one informs your specific experience, right? Yes. So a key thing here, right? Because your womb is a living being on her own, in her own right. So usually when there are difficulties in conception, one thing that might be happening there is that she probably doesn't feel safe to hold this life and to sustain this life, right? Or that she might have been wounded in some way, traumatized, or in a state of pain, which is really an invitation for healing, right? And so when we do this healing work, right, in instances where in instances where you or your womb have sustained some trauma, we want to start with a cleansing process, right? Before we even start with the fertility medicine, which is going to enhance the capacity of your womb to carry life and to grow life, we want to first cleanse, just wash out, clear out that trauma or that pain that you might be holding in your womb, that you might be holding in your body, right? And also begin to repair the inner infrastructure and the inner architecture of fertility and of creativity within your womb, such that she may begin to create life and sustain that life within her body, right? Yes. And another thing that we would want to do is, in instances of either the miscarriage or the abortion, right? Whatever traumatic experience you might have had, right? We also want to do what is called a quantum repatterning, right? Where we are going to unlock whatever emotions are held within your body that make it difficult for conception to take place, right? So these emotions, there might be a fear. When we go in, it might be fear, it might be a lack of safety, it might be any emotion really. So through this quantum repatterning process, we want to go into your inner landscape, right? And repair whatever timeline that holds this traumatic experience, right? That would have wounded your womb, that would have resulted in pain for your womb, right? We want to go into your inner landscape and repair the original wounding that has happened to your womb, right? And additional to that, we want to, unlock whatever emotions are held within your womb that are making it difficult for her to hold this life, right? And then once we have unlocked and released them, we want to bring in the new emotions that will create a new and sustaining and fertile environment within your body, within your nervous system, that will begin to create that safe enough environment for conception to happen and for your womb and for your body to hold and to sustain this life, right? Let me know if, how this is landing for you, whether it makes sense, and whether you have any questions, right? Yeah. So key, because of the various experiences that the female body has, that we as women have on this planet, you'll find that a lot of women don't feel safe within their female bodies, right? So safety is like, it's a key issue when we are talking about conception, right? So if you are struggling to conceive, we want to go into your inner landscape and just, look at the levels of safety. Thank you so much. I'm glad it makes sense, right? And just look at the levels of safety within your body for your womb to hold and to sustain this life, right? If these levels of safety are low, right, meaning your womb doesn't feel safe to carry life, meaning she probably doesn't have much capacity to hold life and to sustain this life, we want to recultivate that sense of safety within yourself and within your body, right? Great. And also let me know whether it resonates, yeah? Awesome. So another thing that we'd want to look at, essentially there are 4 things that we would want to look at. I know I keep coming to you with 4 elements in almost every session, right? So the first one is exactly that. We want to see if your womb has sustained any trauma, if she's holding any wounding, any pain, right? And then secondly, we'd also want to see if there are any ancestral or generational patterns, right, for the women in your lineage, in terms of just having difficulties to conceive or carry to term, right? So often when these things happen, you might find that you're not necessarily the first one to experience them, right? So we literally just want to sit down and look at your lineage. Look at the women from your mother's side, the women from your father's side. Are there any patterns of women struggling to conceive, or women who have not had any children, right? Of women who are constantly struggling to carry to term, right? So if they're struggling to carry to term, it could mean that they are stillbirths or they're miscarriages, right? And in the instances where there is such a pattern, right, we would want to clear it. It means that there is an energy within the lineage, right? There is a generational trauma. Some people call it like a generational curse. So those curses are usually just like miasmas or pain or trauma that is held within the genetic body of the lineage, and that keep passing from one generation to the next. I hope that makes sense, right? So very key. If you're somebody who right now is struggling to conceive, I'd invite you to just like take a pen and paper, right? You want to take a pen and paper and you're going to literally write down all the names of the women in your lineage and just look at whether there might be a pattern. If this is occurring if you see it occurring quite a lot, then it would mean there is that ancestral pattern, of women struggling to conceive or struggling to carry to term that is happening within your lineage, right? And if that is the case, then we want to start the work of integrating that trauma, right? I would want us to, as a first step, to cleanse it, right? So physical cleansings, like it's not by accident or that our grandmothers, used to hold space for women to, to be immersed in these physical cleansings, right? So we would want to, do that physical cleansing for you to begin to clear the residue and the imprint of this generational trauma that is active in your lineage, right? Let me just see some of your questions, right? So there's a question here. What would make you feel unsafe in your body? And how do you know your womb feels this way? All right. Great. Yeah, and I'm glad it resonates. Thank you, Amor. Yes. So this would usually become evident when we step into the healing work itself, right? Like just when we drop into your body. And we also look at when we drop into your body and just do a scan of the emotions that are most active inside of your body. We can literally do that, right? So like your body will inform us of what is most active within her, right? And we can also drop into your womb, right? So remember how earlier I was talking about your womb being a living being in her own right. She literally is alive. She has a consciousness. She has a life. She has a wisdom. She has a voice. She literally can speak to you, right? And so, yeah, part of the work that, like, if you're to work with me for sure, we're going to drop into your body, all right? And we're also going to drop into your womb, right? And we can take it a step further by just doing that scan to see what emotions are most active inside of your body. We can drop into your womb and literally just ask her, how are you feeling? How are you doing today? All right? And then we can begin to get a sense of how our bodies are feeling, get a sense of how your womb is feeling. Just to have her inform you, tell you how she's feeling, right? This is literally like one of the, like it's almost like although it isn't the case in our society, like I consider it like a woman 101. It's like something that all women, need to know. It's something that all women deserve to know, just being able to drop into your womb and then to ask her, how are you feeling? How are you doing? And because she's also like your portal of creation, she can also like almost like serve as the word is not coming, but she can almost like give you information and feedback about how you are doing in all of your life, in all of that which you have created, right? Yes, so I've been saying I'll record a meditation to guide you guys like to drop into your bodies and to drop into your womb. So that time is fast approaching. Please let me know if your question has been answered, Mrs. Maverick. So yeah, essentially we want to drop into your body, we want to drop into your womb and ask your womb and ask your body how she's feeling. She will literally like let you know, right? And the beautiful thing about like quantum repatterning, Akwana, you might know, right? is that when you drop into your body, like your emotions are so alive such that when we do this process, you can identify where these emotions are sitting, right? You can literally identify the grief is in the heart. There's a heaviness in the womb. There's something in the head space. And then we can begin to literally clear those emotions out of your body, all right? And then also by working within the quantum field, right? Begin to bring in those emotions, that are life affirming, that are life sustaining, that will help create a very nourishing and fertile ground as in the form of your body that will hold and sustain life, right? So, like whenever I think of conception, because conception is that like fertilization of the egg, right? I always see it as your womb being able to kind of like hold this life and hold space for this life of your baby to grow, to flourish, right? To multiply, right? So we want to create that very fertile and nourishing and nurturing environment within your whole body, and especially within your womb, such that she can hold this, right? She can feel safe enough to hold that life, right? So yeah, like just this like lack of safety, it can be informed, or yeah, it can be as a result of like various forms of trauma, right? Where maybe in your life right now, you might not feel safe to give birth to anything, right? To give birth to either children, to give birth to ideas, to give birth more closely. And so when we step into the spiritual healing work, like these things will emerge. We'll be able to see exactly what is happening, right? And yeah, this is possible like just in a one-on-one healing session. We can begin to see what is happening, right? Okay, another question is, can a previous unsupported pregnancy also be considered as trauma, right? So by unsupported pregnancy, do you mean where you are not getting any support from your loved ones? Yeah, please clarify that for me. Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Yes, I'll definitely. Yeah, I'll look into creating that meditation. Definitely. Right. Okay. Awesome. All right. Let me get through some of this, and then I'll come back to the questions, right? So remember earlier how I mentioned like the process of healing your womb, right? Of healing your womb, of healing your body, of really just the holistic healing that would want to immerse you in or hold space for you when you're struggling to conceive. Like it's multi-layered, and we would want to start with that cleansing process, right? Before we even like, do you guys know, like in agriculture and farming, right? Before we seed, before like a new before a new plowing season, right? We want to clear the field of whatever debris, right, that might be sitting on our land, right? And in doing that, I can imagine that in olden days we would also cleanse the land, right, of whatever heavy energy that might be sitting on the land, of any energy that is not in alignment with the new life that we want to give birth to on this land, right? So quite similarly, if you find yourself wanting to bring about life on earth, right? And if there is a struggle, the very first thing that we want to do is to clear out, is to cleanse whatever energy that might be sitting in your body, whatever energy that might be sitting in your womb that is not in alignment with the giving birth, with the birthing process of that new life, right? So we want to cleanse first, clear out the debris, clear out the pain, clear out any blocks, that might be making it impossible or difficult to conceive this new life. And then we proceed to introduce the fertility or the conception medicine, right? Awesome. So we've spoken about the ancestral trauma or the generational trauma that we want to cleanse. So what I also offer for this is like inner cleansing herbal medicine, right? Just to cleanse your body and to internally cleanse your womb, right? Of whatever imprint, of whatever debris might be sitting within your womb space, right? To just wash that out, to cleanse your womb, to cleanse your body, and begin to create, fertile ground for new life to form. Yeah. Awesome. Another thing, a third thing that you want to look at, right, is of the forms of contraception that you've been using, right? So contraception can either be hormonal, right, or it can be in the form of like devices such as the IUD, right? I want to bring special focus to hormonal contraception. The ways in which hormonal contraception work is that they almost bring about like a temporary menopause to our bodies, right? So if you have previously been on hormonal contraception and you're now wanting to conceive, right? I need you to consider this possibility, right? That when you ingest hormonal contraceptions, when you use them, they have the effect of bringing about a temporary menopause in your body, right? And so when you come off them, we need to allow your body time to recalibrate. So your body might actually need time to recalibrate, to return to her organic like spinning and to her organic ebb and flow, right, of life within her, right? Yes. Let me know what that oh yikes is about. So yeah, because hormonal contraceptions, one, they affect the levels of hormones inside of your body, and just the inner workings and the inner mechanisms of the hormones inside of your body. If you're not ovulating, if you're not bleeding, in essence, that is it is an experience that resembles a menopause, right? So now when you're wanting to come back and conceive, right, we need to be cognizant of that and allow and also support your body to recalibrate and return to her organic ebb and flow of life within her, right? Yes, there are organic ways of using herbs for birth control. Although, what I currently know is, it's stuff I haven't yet tested. I've been saying yes. So if you do know some, please do share here. Yes. So contraceptions can also have like quite like adverse consequences, right? Ideally we want to look at organic ways of birth control, right? That do not like tamper with your hormones, right? And also that are not invasive, right? Humi-san, I'll come back to that question, right? So our bodies are beautifully made and beautifully created, right? Such that like we need to honor and to revere the organic intelligence of our bodies. Our bodies know, our bodies are self-regulating, right? So I would highly recommend that we consider, organic ways of birth control, right? And try to steer away from, stuff that is going to tamper with your hormones, right? They can really like wreak havoc, like in worst cases, right? And if possible, also steer clear away from forms of birth control that are invasive for your body, right? Something as the IUD, I know that this might sound controversial, right? But if you were to get an IUD and you were to drop into your body, consult your body, consult your womb about the effect or the impact of what that has had on her, on your body or on your womb, right? Yes, we'd have quite a lot to say about it, right? So some of the forms of organic birth control that I have read about, not yet tried. Um, there is, I've forgotten what it's called now. But essentially, you want to look at, yeah, you want to, with this form of birth control, I'm gonna get the name right. You're essentially just working with your cycle, right? And engaging in sexual intercourse in seasons when it is safe to do so. It's not necessarily the safe. It's not the safe method, right? I'm gonna get my facts right and share with you, right? There's another herb. Please, these are not tested. Okay, just go look them up, read up, right? I've also like had people share with me wisdom about the potency of marijuana like seeds, right? Apparently these were used in olden ages. Like if we were to sit with some of our grandmothers and grandfathers, they might tell the tales of having used like marijuana seeds as a form of contraception. So that's the one I know. And then this other method where you're using, where you're working with the seasons of your cycle. I'm gonna get it, and then I'll share in my stories, and also in my newsletter via email. Yes. Okay, awesome. Yeah, so like as women, we really want to look into, like, please sit with and just do like just a thorough research on the effects of birth control, right? So often we dive into it, right, without really fully checking how the ingredients within what we are using are going to affect our bodies now and especially in the long term, right? So you want to look at that. I have had an IUD myself, and like some of if like the consequences, what I had to, oh my god, it was not pretty. So I removed the IUD after about 3 years. My womb was not happy, and she had been telling me for a long time that this thing is quite invasive. I don't want it inside of me. I don't want a metal inside of me. Please remove it. Right? So often, what we end up needing to heal is just as a result of having not fully consulted our bodies and about our wombs, about what feels right and what is in alignment with the organic ebb and flow of our bodies and our wombs, right? Okay, one last one on birth control, right? We want to lean on the organic stuff, okay? You want to lean on, the organic stuff, or just working with your body, working with your cycle, leaning on her wisdom, leaning on her own intelligence to lead you and to guide you on when it is safe, right? To go all out in your beautiful sexual exchanges, right? Awesomeness. So the IUD can be received by your womb, by your body, as like an invasive procedure, because we're literally putting a metal inside of your womb. When has that been okay? And when has it been okay to tamper with your hormones, right? That can wreak all sorts of havoc, right? Beyond just, tampering with your hormones, right? It can have other adverse consequences, right? Yes, that we would rather not deal with, okay? Yes. I thought there was another question here. I had huge cysts removed. How do you think this affected me? For example. Yes, so so just like cysts are a form of womb pain, right? That can manifest in your body. So it's really a physical manifestation of pain held within your body or held within like the genetics of your lineage, or that might also flow from a soul and spiritual level, or yeah, a soul, like from your own soul lineage, right? So one, we want to come to this with the appreciation that whatever womb pain you're experiencing, it has an underlying root and an underlying origin, right? And as much as we can, physically remove the cysts, physically remove like the physical manifestation of the disease, right? It is also highly recommended that we also do some work, right? Like inner healing work, or also just outer healing work, right? To attend to the root, to the original wounding, that brought about this physical manifestation of the disease, in this case being the cysts. That's one, right? However, having said that, still I deeply celebrate, the removal of the cyst, and you being here today, to even talk about it, Mrs. Maverick. That's really amazing, right? So if the removal of those cysts might have in any way affected you, right? Like really, like the first thing that we would want to look at, I have a lot of good things to say about the quantum repatterning process, right? Such that, it's usually like my first go-to place, right? If we're wanting to check if there has been, any like wounding imprint or wounding residue within your body, would want to drop into your body and to see if the process of removing those cysts, might have negatively impacted you, negatively impacted your body, negatively impacted your womb, right? To just look at the inner environment and the inner landscape, emotionally, spiritually, physically, of your womb, right, as a result of those cysts having been removed, right? Was it in any way, like, might it have, given rise to any emotions or to any energy within your womb that might be making it difficult to conceive, right? Would want to just check, and if there is anything, not that there's definitely anything, would really just want to go deep in and see if it might have negatively, have any negative impact on you and in your womb, right? So, like I'm just thinking, just like we would want to see how your body felt, how your womb felt in the process of the medical procedure, right? And step number one, just do a deep scan to see, are there any emotions, maybe emotions of fear, emotions of loneliness, emotions of whatever might be coming up that we might need to clear from your body and from within your womb, right? That might be making it difficult to conceive, right? And then begin to build that nourishing environment, that nourishing inner landscape within your body, within your womb, that can hold life, that can, hold and sustain new life within your womb, within your body. Yes. Yes. So the effect would be if, maybe the medical procedure was like too invasive, right? Or if it might have like not felt safe for your body, not felt safe for your womb, right? If Like I've had stories of women when they're giving birth that there is obstetric violence in many hospitals, right? So in the instance where this procedure might have felt violent for your body or violent for your womb, right? Then we would want to look at that and begin to facilitate healing for your womb and for your body. I hope that answers the question, right? There was another question earlier about, the question read, can a previous unsupported pregnancy also be considered as trauma in the form of no support from the father? Definitely. Yes, I think it can be traumatic. Also, depending on what would have unfolded in your life as a woman as a result of this lack of support from the father, from your partner, right? Usually it could be like wounding at an emotional and a psychological level, right? Where in the case where the father doesn't provide support or the father is not present, right? And we explored this in our previous session, what I mean here by psychological, at the psychological level, right? Where we can end up creating or forming stories or vows or beliefs about, about what our experience means, right? In this case, if the father, leaves and is not supportive, we want to look at what stories, what vows, what beliefs are you making about yourself as a woman? What vows, what stories are you forming about your body, about your body's fertility? Are you possibly making vows that I will never have children? So a vow, for example, could be that, right? So where in the moment of deep pain, you utter these very strong words or these very strong statements, right? Which along the way are what become what we consider generational curses, right? Where maybe a woman, like a female ancestor in her moment of deep pain, might have uttered the words, he has left, I will never have another child, right? Me and my children will never have children, right? So that has such a strong charge, right? That can be stored within your body, that can be like literally transmitted down to your womb and across generations, right? Into your DNA, into your nervous system, right? That sends the message to all of your being and to all the DNA strands of the generations that we will never have children, right? So definitely, that can definitely can be traumatic, right? So here it would also be great if we could begin to consider trauma as not necessarily a big event, right? Trauma could be in the form of this exactly, where somebody in a moment of deep anger, deep disappointment, deep pain, makes that vow that something will never happen. Definitely, yeah. And if we're also to do like the inner womb work as well, would want to convene and to dialogue with your womb, right? In terms of how the experience of the father of your child not being supportive impacted her, right? So what stories, what vows are held within your womb as a result of this experience, right? And also another layer. Remember, often our wombs tend to hold whatever emotions that we don't allow ourselves to process and to release, right? Remember how earlier we spoke about we can literally identify where emotions are held, right? So often when we speak of womb pain can also be as a result of emotions that you have not had the space to process, right? So your womb ends up holding those emotions for you, right? So yeah, a difficulty in conception could also be as a result of emotions, heavy emotions that are sitting within your womb space that you have not had the opportunity to process and to release, that are standing in the way of conception happening, right? So yeah, you would have recognized that we've been speaking a lot about, we spoke about emotional healing, right? So part of conception medicine and fertility medicine, what we also want to invest energy and time on is emotional healing, to clear out whatever emotions that might be sitting within your body, within your nervous system, that are sitting, that are not in alignment with your desire to conceive and with the conception process, right? Yes, that's key. And these emotions can flow from many and various experiences from your life, Often it could be experiences that you would have not even suspected could have had the impact that they're now having in your life, right? So the medicine is really in stepping into the work and beginning to do the exploration to see what is it that is standing in the way of conception and fertility happening in your life, right? That's one, emotional healing. Second, we want to also dive deep into the psychological healing aspect of it, right? To see, are there any beliefs that you might have formed in the journey of your life, or vows, vows especially, they fall within, they inform like ancestral trauma, generational trauma that can lead to women struggling to conceive. So we want to dive deep and look at those, right? And spiritual healing as well, to see, might this also be as a result of the experiences that your soul has had across different lifetimes. They could have been vows that were made in another lifetime to never conceive, to never have children, that we want to clear, that we want to integrate, right? Such that it's part of that work is called like belief reconstruction, right? Even vow reconstruction, to form new beliefs that are in alignment with what you desire, right? And if there are any vows, if there are any stories that you hold about your body, that you hold about your life, that you hold about you, that are standing in the way of what you desire, we want to begin to transmute them and to dissolve them, right? Yes. Yes, the answer to your question is yes, Mrs. Maverick, right? And we would want to dive deep into it, right? To see exactly what it is that you are experiencing as witchcraft in your life, right? Yeah. So, and what it is specifically that is happening within your own inner landscape, right? As a result of your own experiences, right? So also like creating space for the psychological healing work, right? To look at exactly what do we mean by having been, what do we mean when we say we have been bewitched, right? And what effect has that had in your life? What effect has that had in your body? and in your womb, right? Yeah. So what we believe, right, what we hold as true has such, yeah, like it's quite powerful in the sense that it informs the experiences that we then begin to have, and that we then begin to see unfolding and manifesting in our lives, right? So yeah, but the short of it is yes, right? I do help people who feel that whatever they're experiencing with their wombs is flowing from the external, right? And we want to dive deep and to look at the multi-layeredness of it, right? And the impact in which it has had in your life, it has had in your womb, and begin doing the inner healing work, right? Yes. Awesome. Let me know if there are any other questions, right? So another level of the healing work that would want to do, and this also speaks to like the levels of safety held within your body, the levels of safety held within your womb. Often, like part of why your womb might not feel safe to hold life or to sustain life might have to do with your own levels of safety. It could be emotional safety, physical safety within your intimate relationship, right? So this one has to do with your intimate partner. That is the person with whom you're trying to have a child, right? And we want to look at, do you feel safe with this person? Do you feel emotionally safe? Do you feel loved? Do you trust this person? Does your body trust this person? Does your womb trust this person? Does your womb want to be engaging so intimately with this person, right? So often we might find that the womb contracts, or it holds back, or it closes up, because you might actually not feel safe in your intimate relationship. So we want to look at that. And it's also like it's safety in a very broad level, right? Are you feeling safe at an emotional level, a physical level, spiritual level, and a mental or psychological level, right? Yeah. Are you feeling okay with this person? And at a very deep and like within your psyche, is all of your being saying yes to having a child with this person, right? Sometimes it might actually be no. Your womb might not feel safe to have a child with this person. So that work specifically speaks to like intimacy healing work, right? Yeah, to look at beginning to cultivate that sense and that level of safety within your intimate relationship or within your marriage, right? For you to feel safe, for your body to feel safe and at ease. Guys, like fertility, conception, creativity happens when we're feeling safe. Like when your body is like contracted and tense like this, right? That can make it difficult for conception to happen, right? So we want to look at the areas or the spaces in your intimate relationship where you might not be feeling safe, right? And begin to do work around that, okay? So yeah, sometimes it doesn't necessarily, it does not necessarily have to translate to you leaving this partner, right? It could just be certain elements within your relationship that need to be shifted, that need to be transformed, obviously through a collaborative effort between you and your partner, right? Just to bring about those levels of safety, of you feeling safe, of your body, of your womb, especially feeling safe to hold this life within her, right? Yes. Okay. There was a question here, but it has vanished. Please bring back that question. Awesome. Okay. And yeah, at times, like the lack of safety within your womb space could be, as a result of violence in intimate relationship or abuse. So you also want to look at that, right? Is your intimate relationship a space of safety? Do you feel safe in such a relationship, right? And if it is a no, we want to look at the spaces where you're not feeling safe and begin to bring about healing for those areas, right? Of your life and of your relationship, right? So once we've done all of these, right, I think key as a first step is the cleansing outside and also internally, right? And once we have, like cleared out the inner debris, cleared out the pain, cleared out the wounding, then we want to begin to bring in to administer the fertility medicine, right? So that fertility medicine could be in the form of like herbal medicine that you can like ingest, right? It could be in the form of also using herbal medicine to improve blood circulation and blood flow to your womb, strengthening your inner uterine walls, right? And these two specifically, improving blood circulation and also strengthening your inner uterine walls, can be done like with womb steams, right? So womb steaming is also one of those things. It's like a woman 101, right? So you want to work with herbs that, will improve blood flow and also strengthen the inner walls of your uterus, right? So when you're getting the womb steaming blend, please specifically look for the herbs that enhance fertility, right? Yes, but please first, let's do the cleansings first, right? Before we enhance fertility. And another thing that we would want to do to enhance fertility is just to look at your emotional and mental state, right? We want to ensure that it is in alignment with mandate. Let's carry a baby, right? Yes. So your emotional space needs to be one that is conducive for conception, for fertility to happen. Even your mental state, it needs to support that. So here we're talking mental health as well, and just your emotional health, right? It needs to be in alignment with the process of fertility and of conception, right? And another thing to consider is fertility foods, that food that are going to create that fertile ground within your body, strengthen your body, strengthen your womb, just to create that fertile ground for conception to take place, right? Foods that are rich in nutrients that are going to support the process of you making and carrying a baby. Carrying a baby to term, carrying a healthy baby. So we also want to look into that, right? Yes, and another thing, one of my favorite things is inner seasons mapping, okay? Just getting to learn about your inner seasons and also knowing when would be a great time to try to have a baby, right? So it is beyond, it's actually more than that. It's more than just knowing when the right time is to have a baby. When you begin to work with your inner seasons, right? When you work with the ebb and flow of your seasons, taking rest when you need to be taking rest. Oh my God. I cannot articulate this enough, right? So actually, in this day and age where we are in most cases just working 24/7 non-stop, that thing it's not healthy for the body. It's actually deeply wounding for a lot of our woman bodies, right? Where we are not taking any rest. Fertility, when we are wanting to enhance fertility and support fertility, we also want to be allowing your body an opportunity to rest, to repair, to recuperate, right? That is a very important element, right, of the healing process and also of supporting your body in her fertility journey, right? So when you're working with your inner seasons, you're also going to learn when would be the perfect time to rest, to allow your body to repair, to allow your body to recuperate, right? Yeah, I cannot emphasize this enough, right? Because some of the fertility challenges and problems are actually coming from here, right? This 24/7 treadmill of non-stop, of constant productivity and activity that does not allow our bodies a chance to rest, to repair the cells, to repair, whatever exhaustion that might have taken place within our bodies, right? So if you're having trouble conceiving, please look into that. How are you living your body right now? How are you living your life right now, especially in your work, right? Are you allowing your body rest? Or are you somebody who's constantly working nonstop, right? I would invite you, please begin working with your inner seasons. Learn to allow your body rest, to repair and to recuperate. When you go to my podcast, the Tumelo Mareri podcast, you're going to find probably 2 or 3 episodes in there, No, more than that, actually. I did a mini series on the inner season. So there are more than 5 episodes, right, that teach on the inner seasons of your woman body. Please check those out. Begin to learn about your body. Begin to learn on how you can begin to work with your inner seasons, right? Just to create a very holistic and nurturing and nourishing landscape within your body, right? Which will be very supportive and nurturing for baby. Okay? Yes. I cannot emphasize that enough. Maybe the words are just not flowing well. But please, if you're struggling, if you're having fertility issues, one of the first things to look at is that are you possibly straining or overworking your body, right? Are you possibly straining or overworking your womb, right? If it's a yes, you will need to do something about that, You want to learn to take rest. You want to learn to also drop into your body, work with your body, okay? Yes. And a last one is just cultivating a healthy or a conscious relationship with your body, right? Such that you can talk to your body, you can commune with your body, hear how she's doing, have her inform you, give you feedback, etc. I also have a podcast episode on building a conscious relationship with your body. It's also just one of those things that I consider Woman 101 knowledge, right? It's things that we should have been taught in preschool or primary school, like just how to build a relationship with your body, a nourishing relationship, a life-sustaining relationship. Some of the fertility issues are also coming from here. Just this deep disconnection that we have with our bodies, of not being connected with our bodies, of not being in relationship with our bodies to a point where we don't even know how to talk to our bodies, how to converse with our bodies, right? So our bodies are so intelligent that if something is amiss, if something is not in alignment in our bodies, you can literally drop in and ask her, body, what's up? You can literally drop into your womb and ask her, hey, what is going on? And she will tell you and also give you the wisdom or the guidance of what needs to be done, right? Awesome. Question, does your cleansing involve rituals or it's something else? So the cleansing, like ritual can be quite a, it's like, how do I define a ritual, right? But we do create a ritual space. So the physical cleansing, there is the option to do a physical cleansing, right? Which would require that you book an in-person session with me and we do that physical cleansing, right, with water and herbal medicine, right? Um, and then there is also the the opportunity to use herbal medicine that you ingest, that you take into your body for the cleansing process, right? I think, it'll likely be a yes to that question. Although the process might look slightly different, yes. But if you are aware of physical cleansings that use herbal medicine, yes, that is what a physical cleansing looks like, right? Yes, awesome. We light a few candles, we light some incense, right? We call in your spiritual support team to help you in your healing process, right? That is what a physical cleanse looks like. Even when we are doing like an inner clearing in an online session, right? We still call in your spiritual support team to help you in this spiritual healing process, to help you heal. We want to call in, those who work with you and who support your healing journey, right? Yes, so I think they are similar. Okay, awesome. So that's about it for our session today, right? You will probably notice that there is kind of like a common thread to these live sessions that we're going to have, right? And this common thread is that what I will be sharing in these teachings will have an element of, or will have within them, the healing itself will have in them an opportunity for you to do a physical cleansing or a physical healing process with me, if that is possible for you. So I am based in Botswana, in Mulepolola, right? So if that is possible to you, if you're able to book the session with me and come meet me in person, then I'd like to present that opportunity to you, right? So what we're speaking about today, which is fertility medicine, conception medicine, is something that I specifically offer in person. Yeah, because this does require the physical cleansing. I'd also want to share with you some herbal medicine to take, right? Yes. However, there are elements that we can do in online sessions for you who are far away from me and not able to meet me in person, right? We would want to do the emotional healing, the psychological healing, right? And some elements of the spiritual healing. And then we could recommend what you could do where you are to receive a physical cleansing, right? Now that I've started working with physical cleansings, I've seen, even just as through the feedback I've gotten from clients who have received these physical cleansings, they do add a huge value, in just bringing about a more complete healing process, right? Such that we're working with all these four elements of the emotional healing, the physical healing, psychological, and the spiritual, right? So if you're not able to meet me in person, please do know there's still the opportunity to work with me virtually. So if any of this resonates and you're feeling called to go deeper or to begin just the journey of your spiritual healing, you can book a once-off session with me. It's a 2-hour session, and you will find, just go to my bio. There's a link on my bio, click on it, and there is a tab there for you to book a 2-hour healing session with me. And you have the option to either book an in-person session with me or an online session with me, and we will make the arrangements for that, right? If you're not able to meet me personally, an online session would be great, especially for the healing and the quantum repatterning of whatever trauma you might have experienced in your life. It could be a miscarriage, an abortion, sexual trauma. That is work that, like, the healing of sexual trauma is also work that I do with clients, right? Or any trauma that you might have experienced in your life, just for us to see. Like, this would also allow us an opportunity to see what is it that informs this difficulty to conceive, and then we'll take it from there, right? Yes. Awesome. And then, if you're able to join me in person, it would be such a joy to see you here and to work with you in person. Yeah. All right. That's about it for our session today. It's been such a joy to convene and to journey with you today. And if there are any last questions, please drop them in the comment section or in the question box, and I'd be happy to answer them on our way out. I'm just gonna scroll up to see if there might be any questions I missed. So and please, if you have a loved one or a friend who you know is struggling with this, please share the details of this live class with them, and have them receive this as well. Yes, lovely, beautiful, yes. Okay. See, there's a yes here to the meditation. Yes, safety is so crucial for the womb. Beautiful. What a rich class. It's been so beautiful. Great. So I'm going to save this video on my IGTV. I'm also going to be uploading it to my YouTube channel and much later on my podcast. So you will have it in multiple places to either listen to or to watch. And yes, so it's been such a joy. Thank you so much for your interaction, for having been here with me, for your comments, for your questions, which have been so enriching to this class. And so I'll see you again next week, Wednesday, for another live session, as we will be exploring more of this, psycho-spiritual healing series. Okay, everyone. Bye.